Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Eris October 2020. Prepare for maximum discord and strife, especially peaking around the 17th, which is when Eris will conjunct with Earth and the Sun. Although, if you are in Louisiana, prepare for maximum disruption in about 40 to 48 hours as Hurricane Delta has strengthened back to a Category 2 hurricane and will possibly strengthen to a Category 3 major hurricane before landfall. And this will probably be the second major hurricane to hit Louisiana within a month or two. So I do hope Louisiana is getting prepared and the people who want to evacuate and can evacuate will, because this thing is definitely going to cause more problems after, they got hit by a major hurricane just weeks ago. Models and people seem to be in agreement that this is locked in, headed towards western Louisiana. The GFS thinks it'll make landfall around Cameron towards Lake Charles again. The NAM takes it to the west just before the Texas border. And the Euro takes it more to the east towards Jennings, which would bring the major conditions to Intercoastal City and Lafayette. And so I would definitely be tracking this thing because it is going to expand in size, wind field, and possibly rain amounts as it gets into the Gulf and clears completely past land interaction. We can see now convection blowing up in the middle. Now would be a good time for people to focus on what we can do to help our Cajun friends, because this is definitely going to be a major situation. Making landfall somewhere around Friday afternoon is the estimate. And although my official partner in weather crime prevention, Cranky Weather Guy, the best weatherman on the planet, has pretty much assured me that it is going into Louisiana, I, as a Texan and a Houstonian, would like to just ask everybody in Houston and Galveston just to stay on alert, because this is the month made famous for October surprises. And hurricanes have a mind of their own, and every hurricane is absolutely totally different. The icon has it strengthening to a 968 millibar low and making landfall in about 42 hours. And the icon had it making landfall around the Texas-Louisiana state line. The NavGem has it making landfall in 42 hours as a 984 millibar low, which would be about a Category 2 strength. I think it is stronger now, but some people are expecting it to lose its intensity, or some of it, as it makes landfall, because these waters are colder from all the tropical storms and hurricanes that have hit previously. The GEM has it making landfall on Saturday in about 48 hours as a bit of a discombobulated mess, but still with hurricane strength at 987 millibar low, and this takes it to the western part of Louisiana. The GFS parallel has it making landfall on Saturday, 54 hours from now, as a strong Category 3 hurricane, pretty much at the heel of Louisiana, right by the Texas-Louisiana border. And the Euro has it making landfall in about 44 hours on the heel of Louisiana, but it's still supposed to do this weird knuckleball turn into Louisiana. And if you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I kind of freak out. And I'm not good at the hurricane turns, but I always refer to everyone else in this situation who's pretty good at it, and everyone is pretty sure that, yeah, it's going into Louisiana. And the GFS has it hitting at a pretty strong Category 2 or 3 hurricane at right around the Texas-Louisiana border as a pretty big storm. So it would still bring some heavy rains, wind into places like Galveston, New Orleans. Well, not New Orleans, but like Lafayette. And so, this is one that we're definitely going to have to track closely over the next 48 hours. And hey, that's what I'm doing for y'all here on the night shift. So we already have hurricane warnings watches up for a lot of places. And there's definitely going to be some flooding as we have some major storm surge. And a storm of this size is definitely going to pack a punch and might even get bigger as it gets closer. It is going to be a fast-moving storm compared to others, but a storm this size, hitting at Category 2 or Category 3 strength, is still going to do damage, especially to a place that has already suffered hurricane damage from a few weeks ago. And so, yes, we definitely have a hurricane on our hands. There are good chances it is going to be a major hurricane. At this point, the categories really don't matter because it is going to do damage, and for some people, it is going to be deadly if they are not prepared. And so, let's please do what we can to help out our fellow Americans in these times of need. And it varies from anywhere from like noon on Friday to Saturday night as far as when it actually makes landfall. But we are within the closing hours for sure. So now would be the time to have your plans and preparations in. Like you've said, if you are in the purple cone, maybe travel west to visit family and friends, or travel east to visit family and friends, or I don't know, man. Like last time, it took a couple weeks for them to get power back up, and that's probably going to be the case again this time. And so I will do what I can to keep you guys posted. And this is definitely going to be a wet, windy, and rainy event. Like I said, the entirety of the storm, not the hurricane force winds, but I definitely think Beaumont and Galveston, Houston, and the areas are going to get some 40 to 50 mile per hour winds, wind gusts, and some pretty heavy rain off of this storm. Hurricane Sally brought 17-foot storm surge to some areas, and Delta is predicted to bring 7 to 11 feet storm surge to Vermilion Bay and somewhere to the west of Port Fourchon, Pelican Island, Cameron. And so, like, these figures will vary, especially if the storm continues to strengthen. Cajuns have a reputation for being very tough people. I'd even say they're tougher than Floridians and possibly Canadians. But I want you to be tough and smart, because like I said, this is like 5 to 8 inches of rain for almost the majority of Louisiana, and you guys already have high water levels from Sally. So do what you can to be ready and possibly get out of the way if you can. All right. 2020 is definitely not my favorite year of all time, and that is a lot of precipitable water that is heading west, north, northwest. So pay attention, stay aware, let's stay alive, because hopefully 2021 will be better and 2022 will be awesome. But it's going to take teamwork. Okay, God bless everyone, stay cool, and I will talk to y'all in the future.